Hello everyone, today we will start to explore Norway. This country possesses the longest tunnel in the world. It was the first country in the world to outlaw FM radio in this lovely country. This is the land of the midnight sun. This country is also called the most peaceful country in the world. It is the fifth richest nation in the world. So today we will know about Norway. Today's video is going to be quite intriguing. Please watch until the end, and please subscribe to our channel and share with as many people as you can. Thank you so much for your warmth and affection. So let us get the video going. If I told you there was a land where the sun could stop over the horizon for months and then disappear for months equally as easy, what would you say? It's a place that houses prisoners in quarters that resemble college dorms more than jail cells, where a tunnel passes through solid mountain for 15 kilometers, and where peace is not only a national goal, but a way of life. Welcome to the Norway. It appears like a postcard at first glance. Snow-coated mountains, deep blue fjords, quiet towns tucked amid high cliffs. But beneath this wonderful beauty is a country of contradictions that questions most of our ideas of success, justice, and pleasure. How is the world's biggest producer of oil also a leader in clean hydropower? Why would a country want to rehabilitate criminals instead of punishing them? And how can a country founded of long, gloomy winters become one of the happiest places on Earth? The solutions are not to be found in any one monument or chapter of history. They are found in the everyday lives of ordinary Norwegians, individuals who learn to work with nature, not against it, who built trust, not fear, who turned isolation into innovation. Norway is not known to be infallible, which is important because it indicates that prosperity is more than simply money. It is measured by the choices a society makes, the principles it believes in, the people it will not abandon. So, before we learn about this amazing place, ask yourself one question. What makes a country truly great? If Norway was to be defined by the values of its people, then those people were defined by the terrain. Imagine waking up in a place where the mountains seem to grow right out of the lake, where the narrow fjords cut in deep like the fingerprints of nature along the coast. Some places go months without power. Some have periods where the sun never actually sets. Beautiful northern Europe, on the western side of the Scandinavian peninsula, is Norway, one of the longest countries in Europe. The coastline, including the fjords and islands, has a total of over 15,000 kilometers. Dozens of islands, towering cliffs, crystal blue lakes, and gigantic glaciers make panoramas that appear almost unbelievable until you see them with your own eyes. But this beauty has never been cheap. For generations, mountains have divided families, deep fjords cut the villages apart. Brutal winters had tested every generation that had called this area home. Before contemporary technology, survival meant patience, endurance, and teamwork. And now the same challenges have produced excellent engineering. Hundreds of tunnels cut into solid rock, great bridges over frozen rivers, communities connected by ferry where roads simply can't. The world's longest road tunnel is a reminder that the Norwegian people don't ask nature to shift over very often, they learn to live with it and the sky. Then, in the Arctic North, the midnight sun shines all day and all night during the summer. Months later, polar night has turned the region into a paradise of moonlight, snow, and dancing green ribbons of the northern lights. Norway is more than landscape. Nature. It is the architect of the nation's character, quietly reminding each generation that its strength frequently comes in the hardest of times. But maybe Norway's greatest important natural resource is not its oil, or its lovely fjords, belief. Something you may encounter in day-to-day life. Parents sleep their newborns in the open air outside eateries. Neighbors often depend on each other, and many people grow up thinking that a good society is only possible if everyone gets an equal chance to succeed like one person. That philosophy is well above politics. It relates to the Norwegian idea of fairness and education and healthcare and even second chances. One especially distressing example is the system of jails. Many jails stress rehabilitation as much as punishment. Inmates are rewarded for obtaining work skills, education, and preparation for life skills upon release. It is a simple yet powerful idea. You reduce repeat offenses by helping individuals get their lives back not only by serving time. This is a shared long-term perspective that pervades society. Universal healthcare is when healthcare is given to all people. We believe in public education as a means of providing opportunity for students, regardless of how much their family earn. Yes, taxes are some of the highest in the world. But for many Norwegians, the taxes are an investment in safer areas, reliable public services, and a superior quality of life. Law enforcement is a reflection of the culture as well. Communication, de-escalation, and building public trust when possible are commonly emphasized in police training. That friendship did not happen overnight. This is the culmination of many years of responsibility and teamwork. No country is perfect, and Norway is no exception. But maybe the most important lesson of all is this: success over the long haul takes more than wealth alone. It grows in a place where people are accountable to each other and where trust trumps fear. Numbers do not tell you what it is like to be in Norway. To get to know this country, you have to take it slower. Now pretend you are going out on a freezing cold winter's day. It was cold enough to freeze your face. The snow drifts down softly over houses. But families don't remain indoors. They put on their boots. Children bring out their sleds and neighbors head for the forests or mountains, as if nature were simply another room in the house. That connection has a name. They call it friluftsliv. It is to live beyond. It's not a tradition. It's a way of life. Norwegians love the outdoors, be it trekking through old forests, skiing on freezing slopes, or weekend trips to cottages remote from the city, which is excellent for the body and the spirit. The language tells the story of the country too. The principal language is Norwegian, which has two official written versions, Bokmål and Nynorsk. The Sami languages are an important part of the cultural history of the far north. Many of the ceremonies are influenced by Christianity, especially the Lutheran tradition. But today Norway is an open country with people of various religions and cultures. Respect is not only for humans. Norway is a great place to get a pet from. The country has some of the toughest standards for animal care in Europe, and a culture that sees a pet as a valued family member and not property. One of the most surprising things about the country for many foreigners is its attitude to jobs, not about who works the hardest to be successful. Family time, fun, and getting personal wellness in nature are all part of a good life. You don't get fast happiness in Norway. It's about balance, about respect, about a calm knowing that a successful life is not about what you achieve, but how much you experience the world around you. But the question that has economists all over the world scratching their heads is this: how can a country of just over 5 million become one of the richest nations on Earth without losing sight of the future generations? The answer lies in the frigid waters of the North Sea. In the late 20th century, the discovery of large offshore deposits of oil and natural gas suddenly gave Norway the means that could have transformed the country overnight. Many other countries have seen comparable advances, only to be struck down by corruption or economic instability. Norway went the opposite way. Rather than spending every dollar as it came in, the government put a big chunk of its oil revenues into what is now the world's biggest sovereign wealth fund. The fund is for future generations and invests globally to ensure that the natural resources of today continue to feed the population of tomorrow when the oil runs out. Yet Norway's economy is more than simply oil. The nation's chilly coastal waters have made it the world's biggest supplier of Atlantic salmon, which is fed to dinner tables in Europe, North America, and Asia. Almost all the country's electricity is generated from renewable hydropower, harnessing strong rivers coming down steep mountains. This reduces the country's dependence on local fossil fuels and ensures energy stability. That exact balance goes a great way toward explaining why Norway constantly ranks among the highest GDP nations and strongest levels of living. Wealth is read not merely as something to be consumed. It's got to be done the right way. Perhaps this is the best financial lesson the country can learn. Natural resources can be a gateway to opportunity. But it is only great leadership, long-term vision, and public trust that can transform a temporary bounty into sustainable prosperity that benefits not just the present generation, but those yet to be born. But money alone will never solve Norway's biggest problem: geography of it. You are standing on a mountain and you see it right away. Cliffs separate communities. Mile after mile, the coast is strongly fjorded. Small, craggy, stepping stone islets dot the ocean. A day for a generation, a few miles. The Norwegians would not be beaten by the terrain and performed the impossible. Today, the country is crisscrossed by one of the most stunning transport networks in the world. Hundreds of tunnels are in the solid granite mountains, and suspension bridges too, in beautiful form across the icy rivers. Today's ferries are floating roads linking islands and distant settlements where roads cannot be built. But one engineering marvel beats all others: the Lærdal Tunnel, the world's longest road tunnel, carved more than 15 miles into the heart of a mountain. But this is not only a technological triumph, it has chambers with customized lighting to keep drivers alert. This is a remarkable success for a country dedicated to unifying its people, no matter how difficult the terrain. Going to Norway is a real adventure. Scenic trains rumble along snow-covered hills with rivers running beside them, and travelers view glaciers, woods, and peaceful settlements that are picturesque. All bridges, all tunnels, all tracks say the same thing: man is helped by technology and not nature. Progress is not about seizing Norway, meaning to give respect to it. The entire journey, the boat rides, the tunnels under the ancient rock, all serve to remind us that the best innovations are not necessarily those of convenience, but those of necessity. If we work with nature, not against it, we can make the most deprived environment a place where communities may live and grow for generations. Every bridge has a tale to tell. But if you want to know the future of Norway, you need to know its past. Far before Norway was to become one of the most serene countries in the world, far before the age of modern navigation, it was a land of adventurous mariners in wooden ships, plying the North Atlantic. During the Viking Age, explorers, traders, and settlers from Norway ventured to Iceland, Greenland, sections of Britain, and the North American coastlines. It is a heritage that stirs the imagination of the world today. In 872, it is reported King Harald Fairhair united most of Norway under one rule, but the centuries that followed were certainly not simple. Finally, Norway joined Denmark and later Sweden and lived under shared crowns for generations until it won back its freedom peacefully in 1905. The hard-acquired autonomy was again challenged during the Second World War, when the country was occupied by Nazi Germany from 1940 to 1945. The common people took up arms, prepared to sacrifice their lives for their villages and their national identity. Their courage, it is one of the defining chapters in the history of modern Norway. After the war, Norway helped to establish a different future, to increase collective security, to stay connected with Europe and friends across the Atlantic. The United States joined with others to create NATO in 1949. Norway is not a member of the EU but is in close contact with European countries through economic cooperation and common institutions. Today, Norway is so much more than what its size might suggest. From organizing peace conferences to giving humanitarian and international development assistance, it has earned a reputation for diplomacy, not hatred. The history of it shows us that real strength is not in armament. Sometimes it is measured by the power to make peace, to keep freedom secure, to earn the faith of the world. When you explore the history of Norway, you may think that you have already discovered what makes this nation special. The biggest surprises, however, are yet ahead. Imagine, he said, you are standing above the Arctic Circle at midnight and you look at your watch, for it is 12 o'clock. Yet the sun is still shining strong over the mountains. A few months later, the reverse happened. The long polar night is ending as the landscape is bathed in moonlight, snow, and the dazzling colors of the aurora borealis above. Then there are the paradoxes. Here, tax records are made public in a country that has a culture of transparency and public responsibility. It's also where many jails aim to prepare convicts for effective re-entry into society, defying the conventional notions of justice. The Norwegians are also particularly kind to animals. Dogs are seen as beloved family members and are protected by strong animal welfare laws that reflect a heightened feeling of empathy and responsibility. Travel throughout the country, and every trip is a memorable one. Scenic railroads wind up through beautiful mountain passes. Deep fjords are crossed by silent ferries. Roads go into tunnels dug from ancient rock and then reappear to views that seem almost unreal. Maybe that is why Norway so often is #1 on lists of the world's happiest countries. Here, endless luxury or endless consumption are not happiness. It comes from trust and security, meaningful work, access to nature, and the opportunity to enjoy the slower moments of life. Norway is a nation of fascinating paradoxes. A land where the chill of winter develops warmth, where solitude breeds community, and where some of the world's greatest treasures are not buried underground, but mirrored in the daily lives of the people who live in this magnificent country. With the end of our Norway journey approaching, one thing is for sure. The richest countries are not usually the most natural resource rich. Most of the time they do the best they can with what they got. Norway has in fact benefited from oil, beauty, and bountiful fishing. History has taught us that natural wealth alone has never brought a brighter future. Many countries have found resources all over the world, but few have been able to turn it into sustainable wealth for generations to come. Norway was now to do it differently. People before profits. It built institutions that valued trust over fear, knowledge over ignorance, and long-term accountability over short-term profit. It took in all the bridges, all the schools and all the hospitals and all the prospects that were there for a child, was an investment that would pay back much above any barrel of oil someday. Maybe it is Norway's biggest lesson. A country is not its mountains, its mineral beds, its ledgers. It is the work of the spirit of its people, the strength of its communities, and the legacy it gives to those who follow. They all have issues. Norway is facing some tough challenges about the future, from climate change to a booming world economy. But its history reminds us that resilience is built generation after generation, gradually and jointly, with the will to think beyond today. That is probably why Norway is so great. Not that it had an easy time of it, but that it showed that even in a land of hard winters and rugged mountains and constant uncertainty, hope can outlast sorrow. And perhaps the most memorable sight in Norway isn't a well-known fjord or mountainside. It is a gentle reminder that the best legacy a country can provide to its people is a better future. If you have done this tour and it has changed your opinion on Norway, let us know what you think in the comments below. Off the Map. Curious to hear about amazing places and stories off the map? Subscribe. Be part of our next journey. If this gave you a fresh viewpoint, subscribe for more intriguing views. And tell me what spoke to you the most in today's video. Thanks for viewing the whole video. See you in the future one.